beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone. My name's Priscilla, and that's Heather up there in the corner. And we have the beautiful Valerie B from Illumination Portal today. Yippee skippy. We're doing something different today. We're going to talk about the 12 universal laws, which we did a couple of years ago, I think. I think it was episode 60.
It was a while, a long while.
It was episode 60 something. So it was a long time ago because this is episode 258.
60. Well, if it's episode 60, it would have been within the first
year, first 6 months,
30 weeks, because we did 2 shows a week. So
wow. So that was old. It's time to update. And I love the fact that we're going to update it with astrology, the astrology of the laws. I had no clue, and it just makes so much sense once we started talking about it. So it's pretty cool. That's very cool.
And I did do the cards. So before we go, when I looked at them, they're important, or I wouldn't say we need to do them.
Oh no, I think we need to do them for sure.
Yeah,
let me see if I can get you out there. There you go.
Anyway, the card that represents us is faith. Our faith. And sometimes what gets in, believe it or not, because it took me a while to think about this, sometimes what hinders our faith is our taking flight. Yes. And you wouldn't think that would be the case, but what happens is that we get so involved in the taking flight, we forget about the faith that got us there. Right. So it hinders our faith. Yeah. Of course, in the meantime, we're still going through frequency shifts.
Boy, isn't that the truth? 2 X-class flares in the last 24 hours.
And the humans still trying to hold on to our integrity. So even though this taking flight is hindering the faith, what they're saying is stay in contact. Stay in contact with the source, with your guides, with the angels, with whoever you're working with. Stay in contact with them, because that takes care of the faith. Taking flight doesn't get in the way, but our fairy magic will still work.
Ooh, I love that.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss Heather.
Yeah, I love those cards.
Yeah, wow. Those are great cards.
Yeah, very
just cool. Want to say hi to,
don't get so involved in what you're doing that you lose sight of your faith and your contact.
Right.
Well, that makes absolute sense. Let me say hi to Akila and Amanda and Laurie. Thank you guys for joining in the chat. We appreciate it. Like I said, we're going to talk about the 12 universal laws and the astrology involved in it, which I find fascinating. And one of these days, we're going to add the chakras. But 12 chakras was not working for us this time, but we're going to get there.
It'll be there.
But to be honest about the astrology, right? This came to me about a year ago, where they said connect the astrology to the 12 laws, the 12 zodiac signs, and went through it. Diana and I brought it to her, and she thought it was fascinating. I think she did a couple shows about it. I don't know. It wasn't something I was ready to do. And then Priscilla tells me she's going to do the 12 universal laws, and I'm like, oh, well, here, I got this thing going on. I guess what I'm saying is it's a disclaimer. I don't know everything. It's what I was given. I think they work out perfectly, though, but that's me.
I think it's fascinating, and I think it's amazing that you came up with it, and I'm really excited to find out more about it. So with that,
hi, Juno.
Hey, Juno, welcome.
Lori Hunsinger.
So glad to have everybody here today.
I know.
So the 12 universal laws, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me find my slideshow. So they're believed to be a total of, excuse me, we're going to say something?
I was going to say how Priscilla, and I know, so does Heather, but Priscilla and I were working together last couple of days, and how she rocks it out. And I was honored to watch. Yeah, honored to be a part of it.
I was fascinated by how you were doing it too. So, mutual admiration society,
Right,
I'm sure.
right.
So, there's supposed to be 12 individual laws
Mhm.
that have existed since the very beginning of the universe and have
Mhm.
withstood the test of time. They've been written about. Oh, excuse me. I need to change that slide. They've been written about and taught for thousands of years in many mystical teachings from ancient Greece, from ancient Egypt to ancient India and Greece. Experts often cite the, I don't know how to say, Kybalion,
Yeah.
Kabbalion. I always like Kabbalion. I don't know.
Kabbalion, a book that was published in 1908 and purports to convey Hermetic teachings. However, it only explores 7 laws.
Mhm.
The rest of the universal laws are often linked to the Ho'oponopono, a Hawaiian healing technique that comes from the ancient Hawaiian teaching called the Huna. Huna, in its purest form, is an ancient knowledge enabling a person to connect with his or her highest wisdom. I really like that. So, the 12 immutable principles are the basic of everything in the universe, and they can act as guiding principles to help us raise our vibration and increase our intuitive understanding of the universe around us. I would like that.
Mhm.
Every universal law is just one piece of the intricate puzzle that is the universe, and they are all connected to each other and work together. The universe exists in perfect harmony. Whoops. And by virtue of these laws, life isn't just happening. Oh, sorry. Life isn't just happening for us because of us. Everything that exists in this universe comes down to energy frequencies and vibration. And that through these laws, everything exists in perfect harmony. Once we understand that there are laws at play in the universe that are always working with us, we can become conscious creators of our own reality. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Okay.
these immutable principles of the universe can act as guiding principles to help us shape our life and live it to its fullest.
Right.
Heather, you are next.
And the first one is the law of the divine oneness. And it states that everything and everyone is connected. Every thought, feeling, and action that exists in this world is intertwined and can affect everyone. It's kind of like woven through. And every single atom inside of us is connected in some way, shape, or form to the rest of the universe. And every word you utter, every desire you have, and every choice you make will affect the world and in turn the people in your life.
And the collective consciousness.
I know.
Yep. Everything. Yeah, it's everything.
And that's why we can create our world.
Yeah. So I associated the law of divine oneness with Pisces, the 2 fish. They're constantly going, they're connected, going constantly connected. I should say it like that. It's a water sign, mutable. Neptune rules Pisces. It's imaginative, emotional, kind, and their kind nature that wants to support others. It's an innate ability to sense the tangible and the intangible, trusting what you feel is correct for you. They must learn boundaries, though, because that's just ongoing, ever expanding space. So it's important to focus in on your preferences, what you're learning about.
I have a question. What is Neptune's influence?
Neptune is, well, it's Pisces, it's our intuition, it's our ability to, okay, it's feeling through intuition, I would say like that. And
Right.
to me in the chart, it represents spirit. Uh, Wherever I see Neptune in anyone's personal charts or in an event chart, that's where spirit is. Um, that soul and spirit have connected to work on that house, wherever that is in this on the chart.
Right.
So Neptune is, it's endless space, endless ocean, endless ability to imagine and create the life you want on a soul level, right? So but we're always creating with spirit.
Right.
Yeah.
So pretty cool.
Very cool.
It is cool.
Anything else you want to say about the Pisces and the divine oneness?
It's so vast. It's just it's all that is and all and everything that isn't. You know, it's where we place our focus. So, yeah.
So when we look at the law of divine oneness, we think about how do we apply it. And to apply it, we need to be compassionate with others and recognizing that we're all one. And by asking questions like, how can I show more compassion, acceptance? And this isn't just to others, this is also to ourselves.
Yeah.
And towards those I don't understand. Who understands themselves, you know? Or what would love do?
Yes. I love that.
What kinds of questions we'd ask ourselves to help apply this law.
I love that.
I do too.
So the next one is the law of vibration. The laws of physics dictate that particles in all states of matter are in constant motion. Everything in the universe has frequency and a vibration. Items of a similar vibration are attracted to each other. Our thoughts, emotions send out vibrations into the universe with corresponding frequency. High-level vibrations naturally resonate and create similar vibrations, as the same goes for low-level vibrations. So everything in the world has a frequency and a vibration, and items of a similar vibration are attracted to each other. Our thoughts and emotions send out vibrations into the universe with a corresponding frequency, and high-level vibrations naturally resonate and create similar vibrations, and the same goes for low-level vibrations. Well, that was just exactly the same. Sorry about that. And here comes the astrology.
Okay, so if we start with Pisces, right? And this all happens, these 12 universal laws happen so fast. And it is based on our response on, I mean, it's instantaneous, especially this one. This is Gemini, the twins. Air, it's mutable. It's ruled by Mercury, who is our constant. We're constantly have these antenna up where we bring in the mental, you know, and it's the thoughts, but they start out as electrical impulses, and they connect the brain to the planet, to the universe, and on and on and on. It is instantaneous communication. It can be unfocused and chaotic thoughts. I know I have those a lot. So, or an off-balanced nervous system, which is right now by the solar flare. So, but at the same time, it's being triggered, right? It's removing that density that isn't working for us to create our to go forward in this higher, finer vibration, as it's depositing light codes in that help us create the next level that we're all ascending into.
Yeah, very interesting.
It is
Very interesting.
and it is instantaneous. It's quick, and it's constant. I mean, this is so fast. It's really amazing that, you know, to break down the 12 universal laws and just read those, and you're like, wow. They're very simple, but at the same time, they're so complex and it's so fast. But thankfully, these ladies put in how to work with these laws.
No, it wasn't us. We researched all this information.
Yes, obviously.
What I find fascinating is that I'm dying for you to look at my chart and show me where the signs are and what houses, because my understanding of this after working with you is that this information in our chart is going to help us with the lessons that we need to learn, help us show why certain things are coming into our life all the time. I find that fascinating. So I can't wait to do my chart.
Absolutely. And you know, each one of these signs is a chart ruler. So like for Gemini, it rules the third house. But that doesn't mean that's where your Gemini is. So what, you know, where your Gemini is where you're really working on this part of the process.
But the house also matters?
Yeah, because oh God, yeah, because say it's in the house of Scorpio. Well, I take what I do is I take the attributes of Scorpio, then I'll take your Mercury in Scorpio, but I use all the Gemini traits of the Mercury. I mean, you have to combine them, and it's it's just constantly being woven into who you are, what makes you on a cellular level. It's really cool.
And
So,
complicated.
you know, yeah.
So the law of vibration is Gemini, and how to apply it. Everything has its own unique vibrational frequency. Elevate yours by clearing your chakras, meditating, sound bathing, yoga, etc. Manifest your desires by matching your vibration with that of what you want, of what you desire. How could I put want in there?
I know. We don't catch it. I always say desire, prefer, or wish. I
Ex-
know.
Yeah, I don't want to say want anymore.
And of course, everybody's heard of the law of attraction.
Absolutely.
Essentially, it's the law of vibration in action. You receive what you attract with your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It basically reflects your self-worth and mindset into the world. You look around you and realize that you're attracting the circumstances of the reality that you're living in the moment. You're a magnet, and your experiences are manifestations of that energy that you give off, either consciously or subconsciously.
I love that.
It's so cool because, okay, the sun rules Leo, right? It's a fire sign. It's a fixed fire sign, which kind of doesn't not saying it doesn't make sense. It is, the sun creates everything on our planet. Everything in our solar system is based on traveling around our sun. So that attraction, and if we look at it, this is where we were talking about the chakras, right? Because you that's your chest chakra, right? The sun is where you beam out everything. But it is charismatic, strong, determined leader, capacity to live an inspired life, naturally attracting others with open hearts. But on the downside could be arrogant, opinionated, inflexible, and critical. But and right
And
now,
narcissistic. Let's face it, Leos are all about me.
now that's Leo vibrational Leo. There's a lot of hot. And don't forget, I didn't say this earlier. We have all these signs in our chart. This
Of
is
course we do.
and we have all of these laws. We're always involved in the laws, whether we're consciously aware of it or not. But the sun is okay. I get attracted. I want to go. Let's say I want to go to the amusement park. That's an attraction. I get myself to the amusement park. I have a blast. Come back home. I'm going to do it again in a couple months. Those are the kind of attractions that Leo is a very fun sign. It wants to bring in the joy of things. Now that's the higher vibrating Leo, but there is that lower vibrating Leo. But all signs have both. We all kind of hang out in the middle somewhere. But yeah, it's a interesting sign for sure. The leader. It is the leader.
I love Leos. My dad was a Leo. My husband was a Leo.
Mhm.
I
My
think
mom's a
they're
Leo.
they're always kind of they're attractive, and they draw you in.
They
Charismatic.
do.
They're
They are, and they're fun. They're
and
a lot of fun. They just want to experience the experiences of being alive.
Well, not all Leos are a lot of fun, but
Not
most of them.
of course. It's like with any sign. Some are great, some not so much. The lower and the upper versions.
right.
Yeah. So, how do we apply the law of attraction? What is it like unto itself is drawn?
Mhm.
What is like is that's a really hard sentence. So, anyway, if you want love but do not give love, you're sending the universe a message about your priorities. And if you repeat an affirmation but don't believe what you're saying, it's useless. And why bother? I mean, because it knows you don't mean it. So
That's
when you
kind of like
focus,
saying an affirmation every day and just repeating it by rote. You're not
Mhm.
putting any feeling into it. You're not acknowledging it. You're just
you're not sending out the vibrations.
exactly.
You're not doing the law
Not
of
doing
vibration.
exactly. You have to send out that vibration to get it back.
Exactly. So when we focus on what we want versus what we don't want, it's going to show up in our lives. Because
And
when we focus on and really feel what we're wanting, we're sending that vibration out and we'll come back.
yes.
And as humans, we tend to focus on what we don't want.
Mhm.
We go through life going, "Ooh, I don't like that. I don't want that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
But we forget to say, "Oh, I love that. I want more of that."
Yeah.
I know. I mean, when we all first started, wasn't it easier to say what we didn't want than what we do want?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting
That's
better
true.
about it.
Yeah, I'm getting better at it too.
It is. It takes practice,
It
right?
does take
It
practice.
does. It takes
And
practice.
concentration.
Yeah, lots of
And
concentration.
concentration, mindfulness.
Yes, mindfulness.
Yeah, I would sit here
Love it.
some days going, "Oh, I didn't want to do whatever," and I got to catch myself and go, "Wait a minute, but what did you want?" And those are kind of the tricks that I've learned over time because I really did not live the life I wanted until I learned how
To
to
ask for what you wanted instead of
ask
what you
and
wanted.
learn these laws, and all of it. It's just so cool how it's all connected.
It really is.
You know.
One thing that I've been struggling with is I've lost quite a bit of weight, and walking before was really difficult. I just hated walking. I had pain in my knees, pain in my hips, the usual. Changing my mindset about walking now that I've lost weight and I'm not in pain, I still my first reaction is, "Oh, I don't want to go walk."
Right.
And I'm like, "Wait a minute, I can walk. I do wanna go walk. I wanna go hike. I wanna go do this. I wanna go do that." But
Yeah.
I have to focus on the change of mindset
Yes.
constantly.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't have to change my mindset. I've always loved walking. That's the reason for the surgeries. I wanted to get back to walk.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Once the body has endured trauma for sustained time, it's really hard to because now we get okay. Our brain says yes, we have the thought, and we're bringing it down into the physical, and our body's like, well, I don't want to feel like that again. I don't ever
Mhm.
want to feel
We
like that.
have to create new synapses, the
Right.
positive synapses.
Mhm.
It takes how many hours or days to be able to do something like that? I think it's
Yeah.
14 days to change a habit. So I imagine it's pretty much the same for changing your synapses. I'm sure that's part
Yeah.
of it.
How many days?
I don't know. I
I
don't know. I think
think
it was
I've heard
14 days is
21.
what I heard.
Okay. I've
2
heard
weeks.
21. I don't know. I
Sure,
just
it changes with
when I'm trying to change something, I just
Make a new
don't even,
habit.
yeah, it's hard. You don't even think about like, okay, today's day one. Maybe I
yeah.
should. Yes.
Maybe I should. Maybe I should journal it, but I'm so crappy at journaling every day that I'd forget.
I don't know about that. I just watched you make all these slides. I was like, wow, impressive.
The next one is the law of correspondence, which relates to Virgo.
Mhm.
The law of correspondence states that patterns repeat throughout the universe. And on a personal level, our reality is a mirror of what's happening inside us at that particular moment. Everything that happens in our physical reality is the result of our thought patterns. They can either help us or hinder us. No shit. These
Mhm.
patterns, whether positive or negative, can be passed down and repeated through generations in your family.
Yeah.
That we can take action to consciously break these patterns. It reminds me of something like, my parents were growing up during the Depression. So there was always a lack of money, lack of money, lack, 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 lack.
Mhm.
And even though they were fairly wealthy, they still had that lack mentality and passed it down generation to generation to generation. Now, I'm not talking about my family in particular, but that's how it works. Is
Mhm.
you know, and same thing with like going to church, religion. It's, you know, people started, your parents, your grandparents went to church, you went to church, and then you started saying, why am I going to church? I don't understand. This makes no sense to me. That's the way you break a pattern, is
Right.
asking questions.
And
So,
and they had so many sayings that enforce the patterns, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they had a ton of different.
Ton of stuff to keep you trapped down here. You're like,
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
That's what we always did.
Yeah. But why? That was me. But why?
Yeah.
Explain
Why,
that to me.
why, why? I was a wire.
Why?
Hey,
Don't ask me why.
remember?
I said so. You know.
Oh,
I
that's what I
hated
heard
that.
a lot because I
Oh, I
said,
hated that because I said that one just took me out. No. All
yeah,
right. So Virgo, the Virgin, Earth sign, mutable, again ruled by Mercury. A lot of signs are got two. A lot of planets have two signs. It is the Earth angel. Okay, they on a higher vibration. Virgo it is a fine attraction. Well, let me explain it better than that. Healer, efficient, responsible, problem solving. They just know the correct way to get something efficiently accomplished. I don't. It's brilliant, really. Um, Energetic alignment of body and mind, and this is kind of where it kind of goes off the rails for us because we were just talking about the body is like, wait a minute, I hurt, I don't want to go. Mind is saying, but we don't hurt anymore, and it takes a minute to get that 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 feeling coming in. It is feeling all of
mhm,
this. It's vibration, and it is a ultra fine feelings. Um, so able to notice and utilize patterns that provide optimal results. And this is by that subtle feeling that just goes through our beingness, right? Hypercritical. This is the lower end of a Virgo. Perfectionist, unrealistic expectations that will prevent, just like it will prevent a Virgo from raising in vibration. This prevents us from raising in this law because we can get stuck in the problem's too big. I don't want to try to figure out the problem. I don't. I My body and my mind aren't on the same page, and it's more than that. Mind, body, and spirit.
right.
Um,
And really, when you think about it, you're saying let your heart take over your mind. And that is so difficult. And that's still the law of correspondence.
yeah, yeah. Law of correspondence is so. It is. I mean, it's subtle. Like they all are. This one is really tricky because you can get lost. You can just say, "Oh, you know what, I give up. I'm not even going to try that. I'm not even going to try to feel better, whatever it is." Um, and that's what makes then we become hypercritical because we all have that Virgo in us, right? And we become judgmental, perfectionists, it, because we're not working through whatever this thing is that's holding us back. I guess it's the best way to say it.
Right.
But you guys have a way to fix that.
Hopefully. Okay, so it's life is happening for us, not to us. If our life is chaotic and fearful, it's because there's chaos and fear within.
Yeah.
Our life seems calm and grounded, it's because we feel peace within. Any troubling situation, we should ask ourselves what this situation can show us about ourselves and what
Yeah.
requires the healing within.
Oh my. And you know how hard that is. And when we got to seriously take a look at ourselves in the mirror.
Yeah, shadow work's not easy, and it's the
Mm,
only thing that actually gets rid of this stuff.
yeah.
Gets, you
And
know,
and you're right though. Once you do it, I mean, you just bounce up in vibration because you
till the
hit
next
it.
time.
Till
Yeah.
the next. I was just gonna say that, but then it's just constant. You're like, oh, this is it's kind of like a game, and we can keep going, keep going. But
Yeah.
sometimes you get to a issue and you're like, I'm so over this, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm,
Yeah,
So
and
over it.
so when you guys, when you go through the same things over and you're saying, what am I not getting? You're
Yeah.
finally working with the law of correspondence, saying, what was I supposed to learn here?
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's a message for sure.
Mhm.
definitely.
Okay, the law of inspired action.
Oh,
Now, this law asserts that to manifest thoughts of desire, you must take inspired action. Inspired actions are actions that are aligned with the things you're truly passionate about. You care about them, okay? Sometimes even the smallest action will open up a slightly bigger opportunity that will lead to something else that will move you closer to your goal. And you'll know because the world should be challenging yet enjoyable, not a struggle that's met with frustration and anxiety.
You know what comes to mind is our show. I know that I'm doing the right thing by doing this. I feel
Mhm.
it with all my being, but it is a challenge.
It
It's
is a
it
challenge.
is a
We
challenge.
do.
I don't mind. Do you? I love the
No,
challenge of
and
it.
I'm so happy that we've got the partnership so that we can work it through much
yeah.
easier.
Mm-hmm.
Having to do this by ourselves would be more than a challenge.
And
Yeah.
these are huge concepts, but these are things we live every minute of every day.
Every second of
Yeah.
every day, and it affects everybody and everything.
Mhm. Everything around us. And
Yeah.
Aries, so I'm sorry.
No, I was
Okay.
just sending it over to you.
Yeah,
Aries,
that's
the
right.
ram. Fire, again, right, they want to go. Cardinal, they're in charge. Cardinal signs are, I probably should explain that. They're the ones who just bring in the ideas, and mutable signs help. They're malleable, so they can figure out ways to do it. The fixed signs are, I don't know about that. You know, it takes a little bit more to convince a fixed sign, but that doesn't mean that they're not working on it in a different way. So that's ruled by Mars. Now, this one is kind of easy and obvious, right? The law of inspired action is I have I've had all of this time to think and want and ponder and imagine. Now it's time to make a move. Whether it's write it down, make a phone call, go to the place, whatever it is, it is an action. And to sit there and think, well, because I used to do this. This is part of the downside of this. It's well, it'll just come to me. I don't have to do anything. You know, that's not
Yeah.
true. Or
I think
you're
we've
too
all tried
impatient.
that trick.
Yeah. Or you're too impatient and you jump too soon. You
Mm-hmm.
jump ahead. You know, but it is our ability to go, to initiate new experiences and new energies. Drive to instigate and follow inspirations. I mean, it's just, Aries, well, they have a really hard time. Their mind thinks it, and they go. I mean, but they're good at it. That's their sun sign, Aries. If your Mars is Aries, wow, really good at this. So we don't all have that, right? We some people have Mars in Cancer. Cancer's like, I don't really want to jump. I don't really want to run out the door. So it depends, and where and what house is that happening in for you. But it is again a leader. It's a leader. It's good. Aries is just going for it.
I
But
don't really
without
know any
Aries, we
Aries.
wouldn't get anything done.
I don't
We
know any
really
Aries.
wouldn't.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, they have a way of pushing.
Yeah, we have one in the chat, Randy. I'm gonna call Randy out. Randy's just goes, 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 and that's good. I mean, that's her. That's beautiful for her.
Mhm.
Some people can go forward and make things happen like that. I have to sit here and ponder and imagine and talk about it, and write it out, and um,
Yeah.
or my Mars is in Virgo. That's why, because I got to sit here and feel through it all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
And what are their detrimental?
Well, they're impatient and impulsive and feisty. When I say feisty, they're just ready to jump. They're just like, let's do it. They, it's in Aries. I don't think it's so much. They don't. They don't like. Oh, this might not work. They just try it. It doesn't matter. We'll try something else. If that doesn't work, we'll try something else. So they don't get caught up in. I don't know. I don't know if I should do that. But a
They're
lot of
not
times.
wishy-washy, in other words.
Yeah, they like to jump and look, leap before they jump. Look.
They leap before they look. Okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. It is. They are truly built that way, and
Right.
that they will make it happen. And if it doesn't, they're not afraid to try something 10 times, have it fail. They know it'll eventually work, whatever that is.
Cool.
So that's a good. That a lot of the detrimental stuff can also be some of the things that pull you through this law.
Well, yeah, as long as you do it in a balanced way.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of Thomas Edison. All the ways that he learned not to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I wonder what his sign is. I'm gonna look it up.
I really don't know. So the law of attraction and law of inspired action and how to apply it.
Right. Manifestation requires aligned action.
Wait. Excuse me. This is me.
It is.
Slide. Oh, no. I'm sorry. It is you. How did I get there?
I don't know.
Sorry.
It's okay. So anyway, it requires aligned action, and practicing this law is about slowing down, getting quiet, and creating space for internal guidance. In other words, look before you leap. So when you let go of our need to arrange and control how things are going to work out, and are instead open to all the possibilities, it makes room for new ways of achieving the same goals that we might not have considered otherwise. And this reminds me of me, because it took me until my 40s before I could actually say, in my position as having to have certain things done, I don't care how you do it as long as it's legally correct when I get it. It doesn't have to be my way. Do it any way you want to. Just make sure it's.
Yes, I definitely was more my way or the highway the younger I was. The older I get, it's like, yeah, whatever. Just leave me out of it.
Yeah, Scorpios Scorpios don't usually ask. They're just going to do it anyway. They're going to do
true.
it.
I very rarely ask. My husband, it used to drive him crazy because I had lived alone so long by the time I'd met him that it never occurred to me to ask. I would just go do whatever it was I needed to do and let him know later.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Or this is what I've done, and here we are.
Yeah. That too.
Thomas Edison was an Aquarius. Interesting. That's the vibrations, right? That's the one who he even has the two energy lines of vibration and creates what he creates. Now I know he got that from Tesla.
That's cool.
But that is cool. Okay, sorry.
No, I think that's fascinating because he was all about things that helped humanity. Hello, perfect description of an Aquarius, right? That higher learning, higher information. That is incredible. So the next law is the law of cause and effect, and that is ruled, or Capricorn is part of this. It's also called the karmic law. This law states that any action causes a reaction. Results may not be instantaneous, but essentially what you put out there will eventually come back to get you. Be aware of how your words and actions are affecting not just you, but everyone around you. Focus on dismissing negative energy, e.g. negative self-talk, cultural and ancestral programming. Be kind and compassionate to yourself and others, and it means it's more likely to receive kindness and compassion directed at you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Again, we're back to words matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we have a mutable earth sign, a cardinal, and he is a cardinal sign, the sea goat. Saturn rules him. Reliable, intentional. The wizard, the elder, the entrepreneur. They start things. They just, they're. Uh, I'd say the powers that be are mostly in the Capricorn energy, or definitely utilizing them. Capable of responsibility, big responsibility too, handling desires, implementation, and results. Determined to enhance the time on the planet. So we put that in there because they do take it. Okay, let's utilize this. Okay, let's just take that internet, right? Look at that. This is a lot of. I don't know who invented the internet. I mean, well, I do, but I don't know his sign. Um, how to utilize every aspect, enhance every aspect of our lives. That is somebody who was really thinking through things, and that's exactly what a Capricorn does. They really are the wizards. Um,
Hmm.
and very
My daughter's
responsible,
a Capricorn.
and want to raise up how Aquarius want to raise up everything for humanity as uh, where there's no competition. Capricorn thrives in the competition because of the competition is what brings in these higher ideals, makes them into something tangible, right? So
Interesting.
I always use the Capricorn as like the top 3%, but that doesn't mean that they're, if you think like I do, which I always think, oh, the powers that are or were are terrible. That's not true, because look at all these good things that we've had access to. People creating, I don't know, you can name any business in the world. It's somebody is taking the steps to make that happen. And this is where this law comes into place. It's the cause and effect. I want to create this business. I don't know why I keep seeing a lumber business in my head. Somebody created that.
Who's a lumberjack out there?
How do you do that? What were the steps made to create that business? Or it's just, to me, it's fascinating because every business takes 1,000 steps to get to be uniquely its own self, right?
Right. Sure.
So if they take subpar actions or brings in subpar results. So we see a lot of, in this case, the Capricorn in some people, they don't step up, so they lose the whole thing. Somebody else will come in and make it better, whatever that is,
I
so.
have a Capricorn moon.
Mm,
Oh
that's
no. Oh
good.
no, I just lost my place. Hang on.
And very detail oriented. They have the ability to just create.
Right.
I mean, it's, oh look, I use your moon like I was watching when we were working together, making these slides. I mean, wow. But I also
I have
attribute
a
that to
Capricorn moon.
Scorpio. And so
Oh,
you said we have all of these constantly working with us in every second. It's fascinating to think about. In fact, it's so much in your head.
for sure.
Hmm.
I love Capricorns. I get along well with Capricorns.
Hmm.
I did. That was like younger brother.
Yeah.
Yes, Captain Morgan, your mom is a Capricorn. See, it's her birthday. Yeah.
Cool. So the laws of cause and effect and how to apply it. Am I on the right one?
Yes, you are.
Yes, that's
Okay.
Capricorn.
Okay. Every action has a consequence. Trust that every action will have a reaction, good or bad. What
Mhm.
you put out there may not come back to you at that moment, but that vibration, that energy you put out there has a ripple effect.
Yes.
If you're
And
coming from a place of anger or resentment, if you put that energy out there, you'll eventually be affected as a result.
Mhm.
Focus on dismissing negative energy, e.g., negative self talk, cultural, and ancestral programming. Ooh,
I love that though. It's true. I mean,
yeah.
what you put out comes back, and there is always the
That's why it's so important to be mindful with your words.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And the law of compensation. This is Taurus. That's my daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, this law states that we'll be blessed according to the good deeds we perform and the value that we provide. And if the law of cause and effect makes sure that our thoughts and actions return to you, the law of compensation ensures the quality and quantity of those returns. So basically, we reap what we sow. Compensation is not just monetary, it also comes in the form of blessings, such as good health, loyal friends, a loving family, a teacher or mentor, a job opportunity, $1 million idea, or anything else,
Another earth sign. See, these earth signs, they make it happen because somewhere in them they have the air and they have the fire and they have the water, but the earth signs are what make all of those ideas physical, bring them in
Right.
and make them intangible. They're tangible, right? So it's an earth sign is fixed. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Stability and security, calm, loyal, peaceful, ethical, authentic, instinctively know when to take action. And that is like, it's just beautiful when you're watching it in action. Able to honor every moment with love and attention, reciprocated by the universe. So as they, want to create these, they do prefer, Tauruses prefer safety and security. So this law,
Amen.
yeah, this is a law of compensation. It doesn't have to be money, but if you're going to take the time to do something to benefit something in the world, someone in the world, right? So, and they take their time. They're not, sometimes they can be too slow or bullheaded or stubborn
I have
because
a Taurus. I'm a Taurus rising and a Capricorn moon, Scorpio sun.
my daughter's Taurus, period.
Stubborn, bullheaded,
Can be.
methodical.
but they do make that, they make things happen though.
That's true.
They have a way of
It pretty well describes her. So
yeah, they have a way of seeing that, whatever that is, and seeing it come in and how to make it come in so that it's valuable to them.
in this law of compensation, how do we apply it? So we're rewarded for the right action. To work with this law in a manner that attracts or compensates for love and support, ask yourself, where am I being called to serve and support others today? What can I do to cheer somebody up today? What can I do, being called? And you get out of life what you put into it. So be generous and kind. And then generosity and generously accept with open arms when it comes back to you. Now, I could always do part of it. The other part I had trouble with. I had trouble accepting.
Yeah.
Accepting and receiving is very difficult for women, I think. We're so used to being givers.
Yeah, give.
Give.
It does take a balance of both to have the laws work for us in a.
But I found it very difficult receiving.
Yeah. Oh, I did too. I do too. Still do sometimes.
Well, I'm a lot better.
Yeah. I think, but with wisdom, with age comes wisdom, right? We come a long way. We experienced a lot of experiences, and here we are going, well, I look back at it and I go, wow, because I cut myself off from a lot of these laws, not knowing first about them,
Sure.
not engaging in them the correct way. I didn't know.
No, I know.
Yeah.
None of us did for a
Right.
long time.
Right.
So the next is the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. That's Scorpio. And this law states that on an energetic level, everything in the universe is constantly evolving and changing. Every action is preceded by a thought, with thoughts themselves having the power to eventually manifest in our physical reality. Knowing this, we can actively seek to uplift negative energy around us by maintaining positive thoughts and actions. Every action is preceded by a thought, with thoughts themselves having the power to eventually manifest in our physical reality. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough.
Exactly.
So true.
So true.
Gratitude.
Yeah, it is. And then Scorpios, where they just know, they can sense, right? It's a water sign. So it's a fixed water sign ruled by Mars and Pluto. So there's that. Magnetic, complex, driven, determined, alchemists. They can make things. I'm amazed when I see my Scorpio friends, what they can do. Investigator, transformational alchemy. Mean that because they feel it so intensely, innately, that if it's off, they immediately can change it. They're not, the earth signs take a little longer for that. The water signs and the air signs, well, and the fire signs, they're a little faster because they get that subtle nuances coming through them. It's the energy around us is what we're talking about.
Right.
And they really have that connection with it. They trust, and they do. They believe in themselves, and they trust in the process to release and receive. They can manipulate. They can lie to themselves, to others. That's low vibrational, but I'm not going to make an excuse for any of it. But the manipulation part, I think, what I've observed is because they don't know that what it is that they're creating is going to work. So they try to convince others. I think it's the younger Scorpio, the more immature. But once they realize that they can, they do. They step up, and they're the best detectives.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
always wanted to be a detective.
they are. I mean, they are. And you got to think, right, that the energy is constantly being transformed, transmuted. So it's perpetual, just constantly. But they can feel it, and the more that part of us, because it's not just Scorpios, right? It's the part of the Scorpio in us has that ability to sense when something isn't right, or to adjust it.
Right. So the law of perpetual transmutation of energy and how to apply it. Energy is always moving and always changing. What is it we always say about life? It's always changing. Nothing ever remains the same in this universe. Everything is always changing. And knowing this, we can actively seek to uplift negative energy around us by maintaining positive thoughts and actions. That's so true. Just putting on positive music or a television program or a podcast or whatever really helps to change the vibration around you.
Absolutely.
Do something every day that uplifts you, singing in the shower, dancing like nobody's watching, meditating, or expressing gratitude. Remember, small shifts add up to major results over time.
Yeah.
Baby steps. That's my favorite. Baby steps.
And sometimes that's all you need, to smile at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Enough to change the atmosphere.
And just in that moment, put your hand on your heart and just tell yourself you love yourself. That one changes things quick too.
And then you have the law of relativity, which is ruled by Cancer. And it asserts that everything is neutral on its own. Every thought, action, word, or emotion is neither good nor bad until we give meaning to it. Kind of like money. It's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Depends what you do with it.
That's
And this
right.
law reminds us that experiences on their own are not necessarily good or bad. They're neutral. You need to step back and look at it. So it's our human perception, emotional thought, and judgment that evaluates experiences, and the comparison of them is what creates labels of good and bad.
Isn't that amazing? It's so true.
Mhm.
Cancer's a water sign. Cardinal again initiates things. So what's Cancer's vibration initiating? It's how we feel about something. Or that it's highly sensitive, just like Scorpio is. It's a water sign, so it feels, it's cozy and caring, has those attributes. But when we're talking about the law of relativity, it has no meaning until our feelings and emotions give it something. I need to make this money. I need to go to work, whatever it is, right? I have to.
Mhm.
Unconsciously absorbs energies around them, and they do that, and they do they, kind of like Pisces and Scorpio, they can transform those energies. They lower end of a Cancer, needy and moody, always, I mean, they just automatically caretake. I'm a Cancer. I can say that.
Yeah, they really need to learn boundaries about
Yeah.
caretaking for sure, because all the
So,
cancers I know are
uh,
overachiever caretakers.
right. Overachiever teacher. Yeah, and I've stepped back like last 10 years, and I'm like, wow, man, I can't. And I mean, I was a server, waitress, a bartender in my whole career, working career. So I was always taking care of people, taking care of things, and efficient about it. And I thought that was good. Not that it's bad, but looking back, I'm like, wow,
It's only bad when you're not taking care of yourself as well.
yeah,
That's when it's bad.
yeah. And so it wasn't when we talk about the law of relativity, though, and their ability to sense, right? It's that ability to sense. Where are you going to put that emotion? What does this feel like to you? And this is another thing about all the water signs and their laws is if they sense there's something off here, that it just kind of shuts that whatever that was gonna try to come through down. But that's the part of us that has to, we're not born experts at that. We have to learn it,
I
right?
have a question. The water signs, do they tend to be more empathetic, or do they tend to have to protect themselves from other people's emotions more than other signs because of
Mhm.
their
I think so.
high
Yeah,
sensitivity? High
Oh, yeah,
sensitivity.
it affects them.
yeah, because it's these there's like you said, there's no boundary until there is, but it's like you feel it's energy, right? It's flowing constantly in and out. And before I know, I've caught myself off guard many a times. Like, how did I get here? You know, I wasn't even focused in on this person or this thing or whatever it is, and here I am overly involved in something.
Right.
That's where
Yeah.
you learn. That's part of learning those boundaries, though, right? And what is okay for the law of relativity? When I go to apply it or go to say, does this mean anything to me? Or is it just can I just it's kind of hard for a water sign to just put something over here and not feel anything about it. If I don't feel anything about it, I'm certainly not engaging in it, I guess.
Amen.
you
That's for
know
sure.
Okay, so applying this law, it's all relative. And it can help, applying the law can help us understand the tougher parts of
Mhm.
our lives with greater compassion. It's our human perception, which evaluates experiences and the comparison of them to what creates labels of good and bad.
Mhm.
And viewing a bad situation from another perspective may actually help transmute it into gratitude. Remember, we're always saying take a step back and look at it again.
Mhm.
Can you go back? I missed the last one.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. So appreciate what we have without needing to compare it to something else.
Or
Just be
somebody
happy
else.
it's there.
Very good.
Yeah, it's so
Ladies,
subtle.
we're at an hour. Would you like to continue? We have just what, 3 more, 4 more? Shall we continue?
It's up to you guys.
I'm good.
I'm good with it. Let's finish it.
Okay, let's finish it.
It's a lot, I know.
We knew it was going to be.
Yeah. Then the law of polarity, which is Sagittarius. This law is, wait a minute, let me get back over here. I moved it. Okay, this law says that everything in life has an opposite: good and evil, love and fear, warmth and cold. Since all points on a continuum of emotion are necessary to provide a full experience of life, we can accept that negative emotion has its purpose. How would you ever know the feeling of joy if you never felt sadness? If we're angry or sad or frustrated, it's a valid emotion that is there for a reason, asking, what is this teaching me?
Yeah. So Sagittarius is a fire mutable sign, ruled by Jupiter. Okay, so the biggest planet other than the sun. Intelligent, adventurous, free spirit, mystic, seeker. They're always seeking. They're always pointing that arrow up to what's the next thing. What's the next thing, right? So when we talk about this law and Sagittarius, it is the law of polarity, right? There's like cold, hot. Well, what's in the middle? Sagittarius is always looking, seeking for that middle point of where there's balance, right? That's what it is that they're looking for. They discover higher knowledge and balance, wide-ranging life experiences, yes. Target is always in constant movement. You know, so they're always in constant movement. Now remember, they're mutable in fire. So this is one of those really fast laws. The laws of polarity it's comes in and you got to weigh it out, right? Got to weigh those things out within you. And that Sagittarius part of you really does it, even though they all work together. I don't want to make it seem like they're just out there by themselves doing this inside of you. Everything has to come together and work together, but we have to learn that.
Right.
That makes sense.
It does to me. The law of polarity and how to apply it. There are 2 sides to everything. Use the mantra, all contrast brings more clarity, in your daily practice. If you're facing a difficult situation like a breakup or a health challenge, tune into what the opposite looks like, which can reveal a new perspective or lesson. The goal is to accept the emotion and instead of focusing on resisting it, accept it and focus on how it can help you to move forward.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
always
it? Yeah, it is tough, but isn't it true though? We have to feel it.
yeah.
It's really part of what I would call the shadow work. Learning
It is, and my thing is, it's sometimes it's just hard to see the lesson, what it is.
Yeah.
You're so emotionally involved, it's hard to step back and go, okay, what is it I'm supposed to be getting here?
Yeah, and that's why doctors don't doctor themselves, or not supposed to.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, the law of perpetual rhythm, and this is through Aquarius. Everything has patterns, rhythms, cycles, and stages of development, and nothing lasts forever. It teaches us to see the good in every cycle, as well as acknowledge and fully experience every high and low, as they're all parts of the ever-changing cycle of life. Energy is always in motion, and these motions create cycles and patterns. Each phase has a different purpose and function, but together they are vital for the full picture.
Aquarius is the water bearer, So if you know the card, the star card, right? That one hand is up to the heavens and the other is pouring water onto the ground. And it's kind of it's a constant, continuously happening motion. Energy's coming in from spirit. We're making it manifest on earth. And Aquarius has that, their unique ability. They're an air sign fixed, ruled by Uranus. They're very unique, independent, inventors, visionaries, rebels. They want to work for the best of humanity, applying what they've learned for humanity. Sorry. Deep internal desire to achieve something different by thinking outside the box. And that's in order to help everyone. Okay, so we have this part of us, they don't like authority, not at all. And we have this part of us that is, again, there are 12 laws. They're constantly moving. This is probably one of the faster moving after Pisces. This is where the waves of energy come in closer to humanity, so we can make something out of this. Like, well, why is it like that? Why isn't it like this? We could try this. Exploration and experimentation is really a good. It's good that there's those that will do that. Like Taurus is not going to really explore, like that energy wants to just, this is the way it's done. Let's do it efficiently. Let's make it happen. Aquarius is like, there are no rules. What are you talking about? Let's figure an easier way or a more effective way, efficient way for the all that is.
Right.
When you were saying that, all I could think was, special ed teachers thinking outside the box, finding another way.
Yeah, see? And how many of us have to do that in our day-to-day lives? So we're utilizing that part of us.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
So let's see. This is
The law of perpetual motion.
Is
I
it
already
you
said
or
that.
me?
And she just goes, okay, how do we do it? Something different, to think outside the box. Okay, so applying what we've learned for the community and humanity is what you said. I got lost there for a minute. Mm-hmm. So energy is always moving and changing. And take note of your inner rhythms and try to work with them instead of fighting them.
Yeah.
Feeling run down? Maybe it's better to give yourself some rest instead of powering through.
Yeah.
Take a nap? Yeah. Learn to go with the flow rather than resist it. You're going down the stream, not like salmon up against it.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
We don't want to be a salmon.
It's like a lot of work.
It is. The law of gender's next, and that's Libra. This law is about the balance of divine feminine and divine masculine energies found in everything. Masculine energy is action-oriented. It represents a determination, the power of will, and the conscious mind. Feminine energy is a symbol of giving and receiving. See, giving and receiving, not just giving, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And is quite passive. It represents our compassionate side and our subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
To bring stability to our lives, we must determine how these energies appear in our life, what role they play, and whether or not they are balanced. Well, let's see.
So there's Libra, rules that law, the law of gender. And they are an air cardinal sign. So they are the movers, right? They're the ones going to create, the part of us that's going to create Venus. Okay, so it's what we usually about what we love and value. Charming, diplomatic, negotiator, peacekeeper, feels secure in self and allows and encourages others to be the same. Choosing balance, pros and cons. Then they can self-sacrifice. So if they're not higher in the higher attributes of that sign.
Yeah.
They okay, so everything has a consciousness to it, if you think about it. And there is a male and feminine, duality in pretty much everything. It's a matter of bringing that into that balance, into that, oh goodness, I'm losing my words, equilibrium, right? An equilibrium, whatever that is for you, what we're working on with the law of gender. It's not as like, oh, there's male, there's female. There's a feminine side and a masculine side,
And balancing those in our bodies, our psyche.
yeah.
I know that I tend to have a lot of masculine energy,
Yeah.
and have to work at being more vulnerable for my divine feminine side. Constant battle for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's always a
I'm trying to be more practical.
And so there's that androgynous part, right, where you just count, and I'm just neutral at this stage, and I don't really try to overdo either, but at the same time, these things are happening so fast in the moment. It's how do you normally react? Do you take charge of something, or do you go hope somebody else does? There's always those imbalances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that's you.
The law of gender and how to apply it. Manifestation requires a balance of energies. Achieve your own balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energies in order to live more authentically. We must be patient with our desires, as everything has been created in the world was first a seedling of a thought that was nurtured with the balance of masculine and feminine energy for a period of time, a gestation period, before it became a reality. Patience is not one of my virtues.
Sometimes I have too much. But anyway, so the universe exists in perfect harmony and order by virtue of these laws. They're all interwoven. You can see that. Life isn't just happening. The way life is happening for us is because of us. That can be a hard pill to swallow for those who believe they always draw the short straw. And that the world is against them and that life is just too darn hard. But it doesn't have to be that way. Not once you understand that there are laws at play in the universe that are always working with us. We just need to first become fully aware of what they are, so we know how to work in harmony with them. Everything that exists in this universe comes down to energy, frequencies, and vibration. And that through these laws, everything exists in perfect harmony. As we as human beings are co-creators with the universe, and we're constantly creating our own reality. Understanding these laws will help us become conscious creators of our own reality, help us do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
well, we did it. We got through all too well. I can't believe
Thank you, everybody, for sticking with us.
Yeah,
I know that was
with us. This was a long one.
Thank you, Valerie. That was very helpful.
Valerie, thank you so much for your input on the astrology.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having and working with me with it, because it's so hard to put these things into correct words. Like
takes a village.
It does take a village, right? And I do want to say this one thing about the 12 universal laws act as guiding stars, illuminating your journey through life. So you ever like really struggling or stuck, check them out, see what part of you is.
It's easy to forget to refer back to them.
Yeah.
It really is.
It is. It's like, oh man, there's a cure for that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's saying a whole lot.
I have a photo that I will put up on my community page that lists all 12 of them out. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in line, which we didn't do with this video because it was, we really wanted to do it one by one. But I will post that on the community page so you can refer back to it or copy it. But you guys, thanks for hanging in there with us. This was a long one, and but we just felt like it was super important. And the next time we update it, we're going to do it with the chakras.
Yeah. We were trying to. Just think how long that would have been if we did it with the chakras.
We'd have never made it.
We couldn't do it both. Just one at a time.
Yeah, we would have had to definitely do 2 shows, but that's okay. Next time we'll get involved with that.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, Valerie, what are you up to next? When are you on next?
Oh my goodness! I
know you're on next Saturday with us. This coming Saturday, you're on the full moon.
Yeah, that is the next time I'm on is with you, lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good.
You get her back.
Well, I think. Wait a minute. Is it? Oh, okay. That's right. We changed it to Saturday. I'm sorry. I didn't update myself. That's okay.
So,
I will be
thank you again.
Thank you
for being here
me.
with us as always. You know how much we love having you on the show. I hope you don't mind being here every week because it seems that way lately. It's really good.
It's okay. You're so informative.
Oh,
you really are.
Who are you?
And everybody in the chat, thank you guys for being here and for your comments. And we'll be back on Tuesday. Saturday with Valerie again on the full moon. We're going to talk about the full moon. And then on Tuesday, we're going to talk about Alcyon, our central sun.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's going to be really cool. I love that.
Well, I may be chatting with you to find out more information. You never know. You never know.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway,
I love it.
everybody go out and shine your light, spread your love, and have a wonderful rest of your week. And we will see you, I guess, on the weekend.
And we love you all.
We do love you all. Take care, and we'll see you next time.